pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Hey man, shout out everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. We out here, man. 33 years of prison stories, man. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings for everybody who sent me blessings. I return them to you in full. Blessings, man. Listen, man, with all this going on, with this health issue and everything, and I just wanted to speak about this. Let me tell you something, man. And this is a real, true fact, man. Actual and factual. If you get sick in prison, your illness can become a death sentence in prison. That is an actual fact. I'm talking about from the smallest thing to the greatest thing, right? And the reason being that, like I said, man, when you're in prison, you're a subhuman. You definitely a subhuman, and they definitely not really checking on you like that. I've seen so many people in prison lose their life due to lack of attention or lack of urgency from the medical staff. I've had my own situations, as I spoke about, briefly here and there. But considering everything going on, man, especially like with Bo Billy, man, and all prayers up for Bo Billy. Things like that, man, is very, very crucial, man, that we have family support from the outside, that we have any type of support from the outside, because that right there can be the difference in saving your life and not, by just drawing attention to your situation, drawing attention that people on the outside, have your welfare in mind, that they care about you, that somebody on the outside care about you, that somebody on the outside will make some noise if you're not attended to. Them calls up there, them, emails, them texts, that will let them know that somebody is checking on you. Because when they don't know that somebody is checking on you, they gonna treat you just like you is a homeless person on the street that has no support at all. And that's how they gonna drag you, man. One of the incidents that I spoke about before, man, was one of the first things that really woke me up to, the attention that they gonna give you when you hurt. It's like when I go back to the wall and I tell y'all about when I first saw the dude lose his life. When that dude got stabbed up like that and just laid on that floor with no attention, no nothing, and perished right there. Right there, because no one came to his aid, no one came to assist him, no one came to get him to medical. You understand me? That's how it be, man. The response time is going to be so late and so uncaring, man. That it's just sad, man. It's super duper sad, man. And the processes that they got to go to get to medical is crazy. You have to fill out a request to go to medical. You have to turn a medical request in. You have to wait for them to answer the request. Then you have to wait for them to schedule you to go to medical. When we all on one compound, this ain't like, you making a medical appointment with a doctor on the street where they got all of these different people. We on a compound, you know what I'm saying, that is state funded, or if you're in the feds, federally funded. These things are supposed to be automatic. You know what I'm saying? But they're not, and it's personal in there. If you have a personal issue with a nurse, or you've had personal issues with the medical staff, man, they're going to ignore your request. They're going to act like they ain't get your request, or somehow, some way your request mysteriously disappeared. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you get a receipt for your request. You understand me? So it's vicious cycle in there, man. This is why I always tell y'all, if you got somebody that you love, somebody that you care about, somebody, that's near and dear to you, and they locked up, man, don't forget about them. Check on them. I remember seeing the dude, man. He had OD'd. I spoke on this before in a video, I'm sure. But the dude had OD'd, and he had OD'd on the boulevard right there, and in transition from the kitchen, the chow hall, back to the building. So he OD'd right there, and they called for medical to come, and medical would not come out of the building because it was so much traffic going on, people going in and out, back and forth to the kitchen, back and forth to their building, that the medical people were scared to come out there. They wanted to get the boulevard cleared to stop all movement before they could come out and assist a person that needed immediate medical attention. That man laid on the boulevard and was pronounced DOA before they could even render him any assistance. And then when they got to him, they didn't even understand what an OD was. In their mind, they locked out, like, how can he OD in prison? There's no drugs in prison. You know what I'm saying? That person could have had a major lawsuit, you know what I'm saying, if people was aware, if his family was aware. Same thing on the bus. When I'm on the bus and that dude died on that bus, they had literally hours and hours upon hours, man, 4 to 5, 6 hours to attend to this guy. And they didn't never attend to him until we was almost at one of the last stops, and that became his final destination because he was already dead, and they pulled him off the bus and try to pump fake like they're trying to save a dead body that is already clearly from the naked eye is deceased. His whole body is purple. You know what I'm saying? He's bloated. He's big. The cuffs on his arm has got his wrists and stuff swelled up where the cuffs are cutting into his skin so tight. The shackles is cutting into him so tight because his body is bloated because he's been deceased probably for some hours. So when you seeing this type of stuff, man, this is why a lot of people figure, well, why all these dudes go to prison and they be little or whatever, they come home, they be physically in shape, they look big and they look strong. There's a lot of different reasons. A lot. There's a lot of different reasons. A lot of reasons is for protection. A lot of dudes have to get strong because they know that they could be in a physical confrontation at any time. You know what I'm saying? Either with your cell partner or either in close quarters. You could be in a physical confrontation at any time. So it behooves you to be physically fit. You understand? So that's one reason. And the other reason is to ensure your health, man, and your safety, because you already know that you may get sick of something, man, and if you get sick, then the people ain't gonna be giving you the attention that you deserve. They ain't gonna be giving you the medical assistance that you need. So your body is gonna have to be as strong as it could possibly be. So this is a lot of reasons why people work out the way that they do in prison, because of these reasons right here. It is beneficial to them in a lot more ways than one, just to look physically fit. You need to be physically fit in prison. You know what I'm saying? For multiple reasons. Combat is just one of them. But your health is another one, because the attention that you're going to get is going to be just so slow. So, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen it, man. I've just seen it in all aspects, man. I've seen people go to the hospital and come back worse than they was when they went. I've seen people go to the hospital and have botched surgeries done on them. I've seen it all, man. So it's a vicious cycle in there, man, with your health and the medication, and the pill line be so long. It be so many people in the pill line, man. They call pill call, man, and it's 80-something people in the block, man. You might see 45, 60 people get up to go to a pill call. That's how much medication that they just dishing out. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time it ain't doing nothing for you. Then they'll give people the wrong medication. And they'll give you the wrong medication, and if you complain or if you go crazy about it, then they're going to lock you up as if you being aggressive, because they're giving you something that can potentially kill you. They're giving you something that can potentially harm you, and then you upset about that, and they're going to hold you at fault for being upset about their mistake. All they're going to say is my bad, because they got incompetency up there at every level. How can you mess up someone's medication? You got people that's on life-sustaining medication that they have given the wrong medication to. All the time. This is regular occurrences in prison. But this is not nothing that nobody's going to talk about. This is not nothing that they're going to tell you. You understand me? I mean, you got people that be on the waiting list depending upon what type of illness you got, what type of, situation you got going on. They may not never see you. I told y'all, even in my own situation, man, when I had needed the root canal, I'm on the waiting list. I done filled out multiple requests to be seen, multiple requests to get some relief. I'm in pain every single day. I'm running around here getting home remedies. I'm giving COs something to bring me in, Oragel, and bring me in some street remedies to get this pain up out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing making this stuff subside. And then I get a home remedy with some tea bags, and I'm walking around for over a year and something with tea bags in my mouth every day, spitting out tea like I'm chewing snuff or tobacco or something. That was the only thing that would give me relief in the pain that I had. And I got to deal with this every day. And I'm filling out grievances. I'm filling out requests. Why I can't get no, medical. And they say, you on the list, but the list is long. So I got to suffer and I got to be in pain like that every day just in hopes that they're going to get to me. And the only thing the reason that they did was because I made parole and the warden said something. And they got me over there immediately after that. So this is something that they could have been did, but this is how they're going to carry you. They'll look at your sentence. They'll look at how much time you got. They'll look at those things before they even consider seeing, oh, he got life sentences, man. We ain't worrying about him. He going to complain? What he going to do? He can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's how they'll look at it. But if they see somebody with a little bit of short amount of time, they're going to the first of the list because they don't want them people going home and slandering what they got going on up in here, or putting a bad word out on them, or going home and trying to get a lawsuit. But they look at the people who got a lot of time and stuff, man. Them are the most vulnerable people. Them are the people that's most at risk for the type of games that they playing up in there with your health, with your life. You understand me? So, man, it's a horrible situation, man, which makes me feel so. The only thing that I heard that I don't know for sure is that Bo is in MCV, which is an outside hospital, which is a real hospital. And if he's in there, then he's probably getting way better care. But to my understanding, he was complaining and asking to go months prior to. So much so that he lost over 40-something pounds before he was even, extracted from the institution and put in the hospital, only to be told that now that he's terminally ill. But had they seen him earlier, when he first made complaints, maybe the situation would be different. Who knows? Maybe they could have stopped it. Maybe they could have stopped the progression of it. Maybe they could have fixed it if they would have adhered to his request, his complaints. You know what I'm saying? So, man, this is insane, man. But this stuff is not going to change. And if you got loved ones that's locked up, you need to be aware of these things because they at risk too. Don't wait till it happens to them before you do something, because you need to, if you are a tax-paying citizen, you have the right to complain. You have the right to question. You have the right to, make noise about what you disapprove of. And these things that people do on the outside, man, it makes all the world and the difference to dudes that's incarcerated, man. It could mean the difference between life and death. It can mean the difference between life and death, man. If you get sick in the penitentiary, you definitely can die. I'm talking about even with a cold, even with an injury. I've known dudes, I told you it was two dudes, they was wrestling and playing and said horse playing, and the dude fell and cracked his rib or something on there, but it was something inside with that rib punctured him, and he started hemorrhaging, and they gave him an aspirin and sent him back to his block, man. He ain't even last through the night, and this dude was in his 20s. He died. You understand me? And that ain't nothing that they gonna talk about. That ain't nothing that they gonna, but that was the incompetence of them. Something that could have been detected and could have been remedied if they would have took care of it. You understand? But they ain't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't want to do it because they want to sit over there fraternize, talk, laugh, joke, kiki, ha ha, have 100 affairs going on between this officer and that nurse and that administration and this secretary and this CO and this captain or this major and this. That's all they doing up in there. And then when we ask for something that we need, something that's important to us, something that we are entitled to, then they look at us like in disgust, like, man, how dare you to interrupt me? How dare you to bother me? Sickening, man. Sickening. This is the system that we have that's in place. You know what I'm saying? This is the system. This is how it's being operated. But this is being operated and it's being ran like this because they saying that we are, the rejects from society. We are the ones that broke the rules and regulations, you know what I'm saying? So therefore we should be punished and we should not complain. We should be happy with anything. Well, ain't we still human? Don't them people still get paid to do a job? Where do that come into play at? Where did that come into play? How can we have empathy and sympathy for any human beings that's being wrongly treated on the street and can't have empathy and sympathy for any human being that's being wrongly treated in incarceration? I don't understand that. I can't understand that. But this is the world that we live in, man. And people don't pay attention to that unless it's somebody in their family. Then when it's somebody in their family, somebody they love, somebody they know, then they raise holy hell and say how wrong it was when they knew it was wrong all the time. So yeah, man, it's just another part of that pressure that's being applied when you're being locked up, man. And that is not to get sick because you don't know if you're gonna make it. And even when they came out with this COVID thing, man, and they had people in there with the COVID and they was letting your celly or something, if he get COVID and you ain't got it, they wasn't even honoring the fact that you wanted to move, that you didn't want to be in the cell with somebody that had COVID because you didn't want to catch it. They was not even honoring that. They was just telling you to wear a mask. You understand me? They'll put somebody in the cell with you that has cancer and you have to deal with them being sick and stuff. That may not just be your preference. That is not that person who has cancer, don't get me wrong, but it may not be your preference to want to have to deal with that, to want to have to be in there and be waking up at all types of night or whatever. They're not going to honor that. They could put a person in there with you with HIV, they could put a person in there with you with AIDS, and you cannot do anything about that. You have to stay there. Anything that you could do to raise enough cane, you're going to get a charge and go to jail. But they're not going to just up and move you just because of that. And even with COVID, when it was contagious or whatever, they was not moving people, man. Now, the things that I'm, telling y'all now, maybe y'all know, some of y'all know, maybe some of y'all don't. Maybe some of y'all got people that's locked up who've already told you these things, maybe not. But these are real things that's going on up in there, man. They real things that's going on up in there, man. And if I told you these things and you didn't know, you would think we talking about a third world country. You would think we talking about some refugees or something, man. These is human beings, man. Some human beings that did some despicable things. Some human beings that made some mistakes. Some human beings that made some bad decisions. But they still human beings, man. They still human beings. They still human beings, man. And they still got somebody somewhere on this earth that love them. That love them. So, man, yeah, man. But I just know for a fact, I know from experience and everything, you cannot get sick in the penitentiary, man. It's one of the worst things that can happen to you. Getting sick or getting old, because you always have to be able to fend for yourself. You always have to be able to defend yourself. You always have to be able to be on go at all times. If nothing else, if you're in physical shape, you got to be, and this is sad, but it's true, you got to be in enough physical shape to take a beating and recover. You have to be in enough physical shape to take a beating by the police or by mob or by being jumped and physically recover, because medical is not going to aid you too much in that. Tylenols and Band-Aids and little small remedies, like that's all you getting. So you have to be in physical enough shape to recover from taking a beating. That's why you do all you can not to take one. That's why dudes fight the police back. That's why dudes strike first. That's why dudes, use deadly force, because they cannot, afford to be beat down, because they don't know if they're going to survive or not. They don't know. They don't know. So it is what it is, man. But anyway, bottom line is blessings upon blessings upon blessings for both Billy, his family. We gonna pray for him, man, because it ain't never over till God says it's over. That's number one. Number two is, if you got somebody that's incarcerated, go check on them. Check on them. Believe in them. You know what I'm saying? Remember that you knew them before they was in there. Yeah, remember that person. Remember that person that you knew. Not who they tell you he is, but who you knew. And whatever that leads you to do in your heart, then that's what you do. But at least check on your people, man. Y'all be safe out there, man. Be smart, make good decisions, man. God bless. We coming back, man. We gonna get to it, man. Energy low right now, but hey, what had to be said had to be said. So let's go, let's get it. TBP Nation, y'all. Stay tuned and duck them hooks. Hey. They out there, them wicked people. They in there.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.